Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your guy, your host, your friend, your homie. I'm a lot of things to you all. Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Coming to you on this wonderful evening. I hope you all are doing great. Look, we have a lot to impact within this hour, my friends. It's a lot happening. I know it's like I sound like a broken record. Aaron, do you always say it's a lot happening? It's a lot happening because it is a lot happening. It's a lot happening in these streets. It's a lot happening in this world. It's a lot happening in your backyard. It's so much stuff happening. Oh my goodness! I hope I can share it with you all for this time. But as always, my friends. As always, my friend, thank you so much for tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm so hyped to speak with you on this wonderful day. Look, thank you as always for taking 1 hour of your precious time to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. Shout out to those who are watching us, streaming us right now on YouTube, Rumble, Goat TV, Rumble, and YouTube, the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to subscribe. Please do. Please share with a friend. For those who are looking for something chill to watch, please sure to subscribe, like, all that great stuff. I truly appreciate it, my friends. Also, as I mentioned earlier, Rumble, you can check us out on Rumble. You can also stream us on Goatverse TV app. It is free. It's available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire. Those are ways you can watch us if you prefer to visually want to tune into the program. But if you just prefer to listen to us, look, we're available on all podcast platforms. You can also tune in on the radio airways. Shout out to our listeners in the New Orleans area. Listen to us by way of WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time. So honored to be a part of that wonderful and historic station. You can also check us out in the Metro Atlanta area by way of WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune to the Arrington Gavin Show. Straight Talk 90. Let me see. WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. Again, you can tune to the Arrington Gavin Show in the Metro Atlanta area Monday through Fridays, weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look, we're available on a plethora on a variety of platforms. Just again, we want to continue to grow the show as well. We continue wanting to just build it, get in front of so many avenues and so many platforms. But again, those that we're currently on, we so honored you can tune into the program by checking in on those radio dials. So be sure to support. I truly appreciate that. Also, if you do me a favor, you can we're available on social media. So for those who are very involved on the social media platforms, look, be sure to follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, as well as Substack. You can subscribe to our Substack page because, as I mentioned before, we have 1 hour to share so much information with you. If we tend to lose track of time and we don't have the time to share it here within this hour, we go ahead and move it on to our Substack page. So please do so. Subscribe to our Substack page. I truly appreciate that. And like I've already mentioned, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter. So I think I've done my job. Thank you very much. I would there normally I share a fun fact of the day or a Black excellence report, but I just want to kind of catch you up to speed on just how my week has been going. My wife and I, we were recently at a we were hanging with one of our dear friends who is uh um she is, I'm not going to put too much about her business out, but I'll just say she is dating, and she's a good friend of ours, and we want to see her happy as well. And she's she's dating, having her fun, but she's I want to say serious-ish, but she's kind of like, hey, leaning towards this individual. And I had the opportunity to hang with the guy. Excuse me. I had the opportunity to s- conversate all that good stuff. And of course, if within conversation amongst men, they're always gonna be like, "Hey, what do you do? This and the other." And I'm like, "Hey, look, I'm a business owner. I'm in radio, podcasting, all that good stuff. I run my mouth a lot." And they're like, "Oh, what do you discuss?" And this and that. And I'll share. I'm like, "Hey, look, I share politics, pop culture, sport, the whole nine yard." But right now, politics is a hot commodity, and he gives me his he gives me the spiel on, hey, look, please don't look at it this way. I voted this way. And I'm like, look, I'm a guy. I respect others' opinions. I'm a middleman. So you can say you voted for a person that I might bash a lot here on the program. And I said it. I said it. I bash him a lot because guess what? He's currently in office. So yeah, I gotta talk about him. Sorry, it's my job, my friends. Um, and he gave me his reasoning. Here's the thing, and a lot of folks don't care for it, but there is a number of folks that voted for Trump because of his unfilteredness, because he is not the typical politician. Also, you have to realize we have a lot of uneducated voters. And I'm not saying the fact on, hey, are you telling me I don't know a lot? I'm just saying this. When it comes to politics, when it comes to knowing who you want to vote for, there is so much. It's almost like another homework assignment. You have to do so much studying. You have to do so much research. You have to really be aware of who you are filling in that bubble when it comes voting time. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, "Oh well, I'm a fan of The Apprentice. I'm a fan of this guy. I'm just gonna go this." Or you can't just eeny miny mo ish. The vote. You can't do that. You have to properly do your research. And what I mean by that is there is public information of what this individual is fighting for, what the individual's agenda is. Okay. Being that this guy has already served, you can go look at his first term and see what he's done, see his pros, see his cons. It's funny because a friend of mine who is a former elected official, local elected official, I guess he's a fan, which I appreciate all the feedback. I do, I really do. And a dear friend of mine who's a former elected official leans more right, leans more conservative. And this individual, and let me see if I can find let me see if I have the do do do. Give me 1 second, my friends. Trying to pull up the message. Okay. He shares with me because there was a period where I was obviously discussing all the pardon palooza that our current president is going on. So he sends me this. And what's interesting is nobody want to send me where they get it from. They just send me the actual verbiage. Everybody that sends me stuff, they don't send, what are you, is this by? Politico? Is this by Axios? Is this by Newsmax? Is this by where are you getting this stuff from? Is this by the Daily Wire? What is your proof? Where is the research you're getting this from? No one says me this stuff. Anyway, he gives me just this wording saying overall, Biden granted 4,245 acts of clemency during his 4-year tenure in the White House. That far exceeds the total of any other president since the beginning of the 20th century, including Franklin D. Roosevelt. Now, who granted 3,796 such acts during his 12-year in office? It is also far ahead of the current total of President Donald Trump. No, okay. When I read this, first thing I think of is like, okay, clemency. Biden granted 4,245 acts of clemency. All right. Now, I'm over here talking about pardons, not clemencies. So you're probably saying, well, Arrington, what are you trying to imply here? There is a difference. Clemency and pardons are not the same. They're two different things. All right. And the thing is, everybody tries to find an excuse to say Biden previous this and here's my issue. I could care less about the previous administration. That's been said and done. Everybody always tries to deflect for Trump rather than thinking about, okay, in today's day and age, we're talking about Trump. I'm not talking about Biden. I'm not talking about the previous administration. I'm talking about today, now. I could continue to bash and to criticize the previous administration, but guess what? What is that going to do? All that is hot air. But I can easily criticize the current administration. Why? Because they're in that position today. So I will continue to share, my friends, my reaction, my response on the message that I've received recently. But I do want to head to a commercial break. So I'm looking at my time here. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
What is happening, my friends? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, so much to discuss here. As I mentioned earlier, I was just kind of explaining. What was I explaining? What was I explaining here? I was sharing the fact that I was reacting on a message that I sent. There we go. So when it came to between clemency and pardons, clemencies are different than a pardon, okay? Clemencies is a broad term encompassing various acts of mercy and leniency related to criminal convictions, while a pardon is a specific form of clemency. Two different things, by the way. Now, I look back on exactly I look back at past presidents. One thing I've written down, just note-wise, okay, Biden, 4,245. Now, 4,165 are clemencies. 80 are pardons. All right. Now, to explain what a pardon is the action of forgiving and being forgiven for an offense or an error or offense. Forgive or excuse, just like when folks say, oh, I'm just going to excuse that. That means, oh, just wipe it out. I request a speaker to repeat something because one did not hear or understand it. I'm giving you a variety of definitions when it came to pardons. 80 pardons under Trump. Under Biden. 4,165 are clemencies. Now, under Trump, just under a second term, 1,500 pardons, specifically from January 6th, that was 237 of them in his presidency. Now, look, don't get me wrong. There were some pardons in the Trump administration that was needed. There were some guys I'm like, okay, I get it. Biden goes ahead and does something similar, mainly for small crimes, marijuana charges, small amount of marijuana charges, selling this, that. I get it, but when I saw this, I'm like, don't try so hard to defend your guy, because at the end of the day, he literally pardoned a sheriff who was being bribed, which should be one of the most horrific crimes of all, because folks put their faith in voting for this person, but this person wants to abuse his power and get away with it and benefit his own person, have his own personal gain rather than thinking about the people. You see the same when it comes to him pardoning these reality stars, the Chrisleys. Then we go with January 6th, and it's all a clown show, in my opinion. Let me go ahead and move forward, guys. Because this Trump administration continues to do some stupid things. I can't continue to advocate it enough for you, but we continue to witness some of the dumbest acts happening within this administration. But hey, we see stupid stuff happening amongst the left as well. It's people. I don't know if it's a strategy thing, which I gotta have my dear friend who's friend to the show, Marcus Calabrese, political strategist who knows this atmosphere, right? He knows this industry. I need to have him on to share, to give, just explain it to us, because it's so hard to understand. But recently, and it has been a pretty horrific thing. Job Corps programs across the U.S. has been ordered to close. Now, let me go ahead and read this in context, and I'll share a little soundbite with you. But a program that has helped thousands of young people in at least the Philadelphia area, because this is reported by ABC 6 Action News out of Philly, is on the chopping block under cuts made by the Trump administration. So recently, I don't know if y'all have heard, but the Trump administration has been cutting everything. Most things that have been benefiting the Black and brown communities, which to me says a lot, because I'm like, okay, everything he is cutting funds off is like, wait a minute, what are you doing here? Are you hating the fact that minorities are thriving, and so you want to stop that momentum going? Yeah, I said it. And I got no shame saying it either. It says here that Job Corps is a national program that has been around for, check out this number, my friends, 61 years. 61 years. Undercuts. It's got less than 1 month left to operate. Now, a quote I'm reading here by a participant from Job Corps. This is a beautiful resource that placed the city of Philadelphia. I was homeless. I didn't have the community that I have now. The gentleman said has gone from being homeless to studying to become a certified medical assistant, working through the Job Corps office in the South Philly area, but that the office is set to close as Job Corps programs across the country has been being cut. He says here, look, it hurts me. The impact will be felt tremendously. He also says, Payne says, Jill Payne, Education and Training Director of the Philadelphia Corps. Payne says her office received a letter informing them that the U.S. Department of Labor intends to close all 99 job centers, including 3 in Philadelphia. Its decision by the Trump administration and carried out the Department of Government Efficiencies in Doge and Elon Musk. Now, this is before I get to talk about what happened later on. Now, let me pause that right here. Let me play you the soundbite from a gentleman who had participated in the Job Corps program.
I made a lot of really good connections with the staff, with students.
Dylan Ray Tillett is a student at the Inland Empire Job Corps, where he had big dreams of learning the skills he needed to succeed in the workforce after overcoming a rough patch in life. But that plan, he says, has now changed.
Yeah, I get it. I messed up in life, but no one deserves to be out on the street.
Last week, the U.S. Department of Labor announced all Job Corps centers across the country will pause operations at the end of June to align with President Trump's budget plan. Adding in part, Job Corps was created to help young adults build a pathway to a better life through education, training, and community. However, a startling number of serious incidents, reports, and our in-depth fiscal analysis reveal the program is no longer achieving the intended outcomes that students deserve.
My main concern is this is not a bad program. These are not bad students. These are students who have had to deal with some tough circumstances, and the program is beneficial.
John White has been a teacher with the center for the past year and is now one of hundreds of staff across the country about to lose their job.
Our cafeteria is still working hard to make sure they're still fed. They're working hard to make sure they still have the emotional support that they need.
The Job Corps program has faced significant financial challenges, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, operating with a $140 million deficit in 2024, a 38% graduation rate, and in 2023, a large number of infractions involving alleged sexual assault, violence, and drug use.
There's a whole waiting, like I literally saw 3 pages on a clipboard waiting list of kids.
Ray Tillett says he is one of about 300 students that live and learn at the site on Cary Street near the 215, who are now scrambling to get reconnected with resources.
Tonight, I'm staying at a family member's house, and after that, I'm gonna have to figure it out.
And the staff here at the center tells me they don't have an earlier date as to when they will close because they were told it should happen as soon as possible, meaning that doors will close when the last student is rehoused or returned home. Now, they did stress that this will not impact the center's graduation, which is happening this Friday, but they said that it for sure will be an emotional one. Christian Cáceres, NBC4.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing, y'all. As much as this administration makes the excuses saying, well, it's just careless spending, worthless spending, we don't need it, let's cut it and put it into something else. Here's what the president is doing. He's cutting anything that benefits majority folks that vote Democrats. All right. He's crushing things down that are minority leaning, left leaning. That in his mind. But here's the funny thing. Job Corps benefits all folks. You hear me? It benefits all folks. This has always been voted bipartisan, and it always had bipartisan support. Why? Because the majority of folks that live in this society, young people as well, this is a benefit. This is a thriving program. Why? You ever heard the term, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? This man just said, well, it ain't broke, but I'm just going to cut it, end it, get rid of it. That's what he does. But here's the thing, the joke's on him because now his buddy ELON, now it's the back and forth thing. You know, both girls are like, it's back and forth. It's pretty entertaining, in my opinion. I will say it is pretty like it is entertaining, but it's unfortunate because once again, we have avenues of like, oh, we want to take care of the mental health pandemic. We want to take care of the homelessness. We want to minimize crime. We want to do X, Y, and Z. And guess what? You getting rid of the Job Corps, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't impact these organizations that are just because here's the thing, Job Corps is an avenue for folks that have been getting in trouble with the law, young people, mostly young people getting in trouble with the law. Get them involved in something, get them involved in some kind of trade, vocational. That helps and benefits them in the long run. The sad thing is the fact that they're ending this. There's folks that are still in school, still in training. They won't be able to finish. Boom, it cuts them right off. Most likely, if they try to enlist in another program, they probably will have to start from the beginning. All right? They probably have to start from the beginning. And it's just it sucks, but that's the way the law is. Why? Because they think they're trying to benefit and save money. Let me tell you, it's so much corruption happening within this political period. It ain't even funny. Happening on both sides, damn it. It's happening on both sides. Before we head to a commercial break, let me go ahead and play you this soundbite from Mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Mayor Ross Baraka, who is criticizing his own party because apparently they don't care for him too much. They think he's a little too progressive. They're saying he's not electable because he's too progressive. Again, the whole distraction happening, the whole issues happening on both parties. Look, you have disagreements happening on both sides on a regular, but this happens to be something more regular because hey, this guy was recently put in handcuffs because he was outside of I believe a facility where he was put, arrested by ISIS members. It was something weird, but let me go ahead and play the soundbite as he criticizes a Democratic mayor criticizes his party because they accuse him of being not electable because he's too progressive. Let me go ahead and let you all listen to this right here.
We having this discussion about electability. And they always ask us, will you vote for whoever's the nominee? And everybody says yes. But I don't really believe that, because there are people up here on this stage that are stoking fear out in the community. They're saying that they're the only ones electable and nobody else is electable. I think if all of us support whoever is the nominee, that person is in fact electable. And I'm gonna tell you why they say I'm not electable. 1, because I'm from Newark. 2, because I'm too progressive. And 3, because I'm too black. Well, I like being from Newark. I like being from Newark. As a matter of fact, I think because you're closest to the problems, you're closest to the solutions. I also like being progressive. I like being progressive and standing on my progressive values. I think that's what brings us together. And I can't do nothing about being black. God made me beautiful and amazing on purpose. At the end of the day, I come from a long line of African-American women who fought hard and prayed even harder so I could be on this stage here today. They didn't think I would be on this stage 20 days out from the primary, that we couldn't raise the money that we raised. But New Jersey is ready for the future. They tired of the old past. New Jersey is ready for something different, not the weak playbook of the Democratic Party that is getting us in a situation that we're in over and over and over again. They ready for Ras Baraka. They ready for the first African-American governor of this state. They're ready for change. They're ready for reimagination, and they're ready for me. Vote Ras Baraka, June 10th, Democrat for governor. We having this.
Ras Baraka, boy, is it get the hair standing on the back of the head. Why? Because it's not normal seeing a feisty, aggressive Democrat in this day and age. Yes, he is progressive, but here's the thing. Democratic voters, and just voters in general, because I speak with those who have voted for Trump. Those who have voted for Trump most likely wasn't always a right-leaning supporter. See, a lot of folks, when it comes to voters, we're all visual. And we're all what is the majority talking about. You know what I mean? Barack Obama would never be repeated in our day and age. Absolutely flipping not. No, not at all. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Joe Biden was elected because he was the almighty replacement of the previous administration. Being that you had such a hot mess in Donald Trump, they said, look, you can bring anybody. Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, bring him on. You gotta keep that momentum coming 24/7. Now, when we get to when we get to the conversation of there has to be a revamp, there has to be a change, there has to be a shift in things. Oh, the establishment gets so feisty, like, hey, no, we don't want that. We don't want that at all. Yet the majority of voters are asking for it, yet you still refuse. But when I keep on thinking, it's like, wait a minute, aren't y'all supposed to be public servants? I'm not trying to be rude, but we could care less of your thoughts. What are the people asking for? We're not seeing that. We're not seeing the backbone coming from the Democratic Party. We're not. That's what's hurting them right now. You always want to be playing by the book and this and the other. It ain't a winning strategy, y'all. It's not a winning strategy. Now, credit goes to Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, because he said it point blank, period. I'm not trying to give you the same thing that you've been seeing on a regular. I'm trying to change it up when it comes to the Democratic Party. You have some folks who have been longstanding Democrats leaving the party, which is an eye-opener in my opinion. Then you also see an eye-opener happening on the right, because some folks are leaving the Republican Party. Some folks are saying, no, can't do it. Can't do it. Not going to happen. We're seeing that right now in this day and age. Now, speaking of transitionings and shifts happening amongst political parties, I don't know if y'all have heard, as I digress from this story, a former Republican congressman out of Florida has announced that he is running for governor of the state of Florida, but not as a Republican. That's right, as a Democrat. Gentleman's name is David Jolly, who has been a regular on MSNBC, which I had said is, in my opinion, the only pro-liberal cable television network in society. People always say, "What about CNN?" CNN is starting to be more neutral, but MSNBC is like, no, we're all the way liberal. Let me go ahead and play this for you.
I'm running for governor of the state of Florida as a Democrat.
David Jolly is looking to do what no Democrat has done in Florida this decade, win a statewide election in a state that's shifted further Republican since he left Congress.
Why should Democrats see you as that change maker?
This is the strength of our campaign. A lot of critics say, oh, he was a Republican, then an independent, then a Democrat. Yes, I was. And you know what I test in politics? Is it okay to change your mind? Because I think more politicians should recognize if they were wrong, should change their mind, should address where voters are.
Jolly rejects claims he's just another Charlie Crist and says the Democratic Party today more reflects his values than the party he left in 2018.
I see the Democratic Party as leading a coalition that wants three simple things: an economy that works for all people, a government that actually serves its veterans, its seniors, provides for public education, and a government that protects everyone's dignity and respect.
He's been sharing his message over the last several weeks, a campaign focusing on a growing affordability problem and his plan to reform property insurance.
Is there a way to legislate or govern out of this issue?
There is. We need a state catastrophic fund to remove hurricane coverage from our private insurance market. The property insurance market in Florida has failed. Republicans are tinkering around the edges.
Jolly enters as the top Dem in the 2026 race. On the right now is Trump-endorsed Congressman Byron Donalds, who calls Jolly an out-of-touch, anti-Trump radical leftist.
This race is not about Donald Trump. It's not about national politics. I think many Floridians wonder, is Florida a place where you can raise your family, where you can retire? The cost of living and the affordability crisis is number one, but I think we've also created a state in the past several years where not everybody feels welcome, and I think we should change that.
In Tampa, Aaron Parsegian, 10 Tampa Bay.
Here's my thing. When it comes to, and I've said it before, it's always going to be hard for those who are party switching. Okay, so I've backtracked and found a clip. This was back in 2023. He was still at the time a registered Republican. All right, he was still a registered Republican out of Florida that was a regular on MSNBC. You again, it's funny because you rarely don't see this. A registered Republican, former congressman out of Florida that was a regular on MSNBC. You don't see that. You don't see that.
Culture wars is it's a war, and there's two sides to it, and you feel unwelcome. And listen, I'm a white evangelical straight male, and I feel unwelcome simply for my embrace of diversity of thought and as an ally under attack from Ron DeSantis. His war on migrants, his war on the African-American community, his war on the LGBT community is true. His denial of science and history is true. So take myself, for instance. Why would I want to raise my kids in an environment in which they're shamed for embracing diversity of thought and diverse cultures? I want my children to be exposed to as much diversity as possible. And at home, my wife and I can orient our family around the value set that's right for us and prepare our kids to make decisions that are ultimately right for them as adults. That's not permissible in the state of Florida. You're shamed for it. You're unwelcome. So yes, look, we consider every day whether to raise our kids in Florida. And I think it's representative of thousands upon thousands of Floridians tonight here in the
That was back in 2023 when obviously the issues happening in the state of Florida. You got DeSantis in leadership. He's a hot mess of itself, but it's just interesting. You know what I mean? Like, the hard part is, and I do this to add more awareness to these individuals that party switch, because I myself, I have a dear friend that switched parties to run for an elected position. highly qualified, would have been an amazing elected official in his position that he was running for. But I personally feel as though you have voters that still recalls, wait a minute, you, sir, I remember when this was happening, and it's like the issue is we get so butthurt off of the R and D. We get so irritated with the letter in front of the name, right? We get so irritated with the letter in front of the name, but we don't realize, okay, read the track record, right? Read what they have done. Folks, we have to be aware this happens coming from the local circuit all the way up to the federal. My people that are tuning into this show right now, please do the research. Read up on the policies. Read up on the recent agendas that they have done. Look at their track records. You have to. You can't be just saying, "Oh, they are Democrat." No. "Oh, they Republican." No. Like, you can't do that. That's silly stuff. You feel me? That's not being informed. That's just judging. That is judging a book by its cover. And that doesn't take you long. That does not take you long at all. Another soundbite I'm pulling up here. Again, we're still talking about David Jolly, who has announced that he is running for governor for the state of California, which I think will be interesting because, hey, look, he did win an elected position. He won a congressman, but this time as a Republican, which, as I mentioned, Florida is a red state. Okay. It is Trump's territory. Outside of DC for Trump, Florida is his home turf. Even though Trump is way more, he's really a New Yorker, but he gets the support from Florida.
Musk is popular among the Republican base. He hovers at about 75% popularity. We'll see if that changes given the feud with Trump. Members of the House, they know the threat that Musk poses in terms of primaries, and at the same time, they're serving dear leader. So how do they decide which side of the spat poses the least risk for them?
I don't know that they can, and they'll ping pong it. Look, I don't think you could define the Republican Party by their convictions over the last 10 years, so I don't think we should expect that now. I mean, this is a Republican Party in disarray, folks. It's a Republican Party in disarray. At the state level in Tallahassee, Donald Trump has endorsed Byron Donalds as his guy. Ron DeSantis is looking for anybody but Byron. The Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, circular firing squad right now in the Florida Republican gubernatorial primary is real. They are in disarray. They are confused. And all they can say is, we love Donald Trump and we want more of the same. You take that message into a generational change election where their message is, we love Donald Trump and we want more of the same, and our coalition is a coalition representing change, I'll take that contest any day of the week.
Musk is popular among...
I mean, you heard it right there. You heard it right there. Jolly said the party was in disarray. It's in disarray. Look, both parties are in disarray. You see a transition happening amongst the left as well as the right. The right is all around the place. We have a feud now happening between the two, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. We'll talk about it on the other side. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Again, you are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more show for you after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome now.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new GoatVerse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
All right, family, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. As I mentioned earlier, look, there's some trouble in paradise. Okay, there is some trouble in paradise between the dynamic duo the then dynamic duo, President Donald Trump and Elon Musk. I mean, I don't know when it started. Well, actually, I do know. This whole beautiful bill has been pissing off so many folks on the right, Senate leaders in the Republican Party, as well as folks who are just quite successful, like Elon Musk. All right, let me go ahead and read this in context before I could share this soundbite. So this is a report about Politico. Polling shows on Elon Musk is a warning for Republicans. Says here that Donald Trump says he is surprised and disappointed with the way Elon Musk over the messy public meltdown of their partnership. He also should be wary. Says here that it's not Musk's ownership of one of the most influential social media platforms that should give the president pause, nor is the billionaire tech mogul status as the world's richest man with a recent history of bankrolling Republican causes. It's Musk's stratospheric popularity with the Republican base as revealed in the polls. Now, Musk is not about to overtake, as I said, Trump himself as the dominant figure in the party, because Musk, you don't know what party Musk is. Musk is talking about a third party. Musk says, hey, look, I've leaned left. Musk is all about his success. But the former special government employee is uniquely suited to become a chaos agent who could terrorize the GOP, potentially wreaking havoc on the Trump's legislative agenda and the party's midterm elections. Let me go ahead and play the sound bite, and then we'll talk a little more on the other side.
Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best thing. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem. And he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars. He knew every aspect of this bill. He knew it better than almost anybody. And he never had a problem until right after he left. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape, he said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
Sir, you stepping into a Tesla, having them promoted in front of the White House lawn, I wouldn't consider it being you helped him a lot. And here's the funny thing. Elon over here talking that mad junk. When I say he's talking mad junk, he's talking mad junk. Elon's basically saying, you realize you wouldn't have won if it wasn't for me. It's straight from a movie. You wouldn't have won if it wasn't for me. I'm the one that helped build the Republicans. All right. If it wasn't for me, Republicans wouldn't have that kind of power. They wouldn't have the majority in the House, Senate. This, and I'm like, whoa, this is getting juicy. Where's my popcorn at? Let me pour me a glass of wine, honey. Like, I'm just saying, like, oh my gosh. Like, this is hilarious, because the majority of folks have always said, well, Joe Rogan helped Trump win the election, but Elon saying, au contraire, it was I that helped him win the election. And it could have been because, look, when you have the richest man in the world backing you up, oh, money wins everything. Now, most likely, it always doesn't take the most money to win an election, but when you low-key bribe people, because there was a period when Elon said, hey, look, if you put your name on the signature, you can be put in a lottery to win $1 million. Nowadays, $1 million can go a long way, y'all. So, of course, it was bribery, even though they said it was. All right. Let me read you this. Now, Musk's tenure leading the Department of Government Efficiency captured the GOP's imagination, even if it ended ingloriously. While Democrats and independents quickly soared on Musk's leadership, Republicans are still enthralled. Now, Trump is over here saying, Elon knew. He said beautiful things about me. It's really a betrayal. All right. I didn't see this coming. The only reason why he's getting mad and upset is because funding will be being pulled from some of his projects. And this and the other. How the hell does that happen when this man is supposed to be in charge of the whole government efficiency thing? It's more to the story, y'all. It is so much more to the story. And I can't wait until this comes out, because here's the thing. Elon, okay, was brought in, right? Okay, as somebody to get rid of wasteful spending. He was doing all of the cuts from here, there, and X, Y, and Z, but nothing was being brought to him. Now, all of a sudden, he sees a bill being passed that's going to affect his bottom line. Now he's furious, and now it's a back and forth upset. You got, I mean, literally, it was a telephone tag, back and forth insults on social medias, which I'm like, these are grown ass men. Grow up. And y'all got a lot of money. Y'all go ahead and say, we're going to fight online. Yeah. You look like, I'm like, wow. Immaturity at its finest. And so, we saw it occur. We're still seeing it occur to this day. Elon has even gone, look, this is a quote from Elon that I'm reading from News Nation. It says here, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude, excuse me. Shoot, I think because of Elon, that's why Joe Rogan voted for him, because see, Elon is respected by a lot of folks. I wouldn't say respect. Well, he has a lot of support. I wouldn't say respected, but he has a lot of support. Now, ever since this whole feud, guess what? His net worth tanked. Check this out: $34 billion. Oh, $34 billion, y'all. $34 billion. Oh. Making sure I got some sound here. Now, there's some Republicans that are a bit anxious. They're like, oh boy, calm down, Trump, calm down. Trump's like, what are you talking about? I have the power. I'm not scared of Elon. Bro, Elon is saying some wow stuff, okay? As I continue the whole feud, Elon has said, let me go ahead and see if I can find it here. And what's funny is obviously the right is not discussing anything regards to Elon this that because it's like they don't have anything to back. It's an embarrassing factor. It is so embarrassing until it's hilarious. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Where is it? Where is it? Elon has accused Trump, or had basically said that Trump's name is involved in the Epstein files. And we're like, whoa. Chill. Oh no. He said it. Elon posted on X saying, time to drop a really big bomb. Real Donald Trump, or at Real Donald Trump, is in the Epstein file. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Like how do you go from rocking the Make America Great Again hat, from speaking at all the MAGA events, from wearing Trump was right hat, like he did it all. Like, dude, Elon, are you really this immature? What's the deal? Like, where's this coming from? But you see, folks on the left is like saying, let the girls fight. Let them fight while we continue to build. But here's the issue. The left is not capitalizing. They're not. They could be doing a whole hell of a lot more than just sharing this on the news outlets. No, you got to take these to the campaigns. You got to take this on the road during campaign trails. How can you trust a guy with this? With it? That's what you need to continue to breed, continue to share on the road. If you want a guy in leadership, do you want a guy in leadership who's almost 80 years old having a petty back and forth social media battle with a billionaire, with the world richest man in the world, and now you got folks on the left, like conspiracy theorists, in my opinion, like Steve Bannon saying, "Oh, I think it's time to deport." Like, what? It's time to deport Elon Musk. But here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. In this case, do you now say that folks like a Laura Loomer and a Steve Bannon, were they right? Because remember, they were not all the way there with Elon. They didn't trust Elon. They didn't like Elon. There's a lot. I've had conservative voices on my show that weren't fans of Elon, even when he was supporting Trump. And I'm like, where is will be the catch for Elon? Why are you not supporting him? And so now we see it happening at this very moment. You see people on the right saying, "See, I told you, you can't trust him. Deport him, take him." And I'm just like, what is happening here? And again, Trump's like, I feel betrayed. Ouch, that really hurts. Why would you not? Why are you doing this to me? I've done so good to you. Blah, blah, blah. Come on now. Mr. President, it's time to feel the same exact stuff you give to your folks. Because when it's time to wipe them away, oh, you do so. You just push them to the curb like a Mike Lindell. My pillow guy can't even like he's struggling. Mayor Giuliani, former mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani, struggling. All right. Paul Manafort, your former campaign manager, struggling. Everybody's struggling, but you apparently. I mean, the tan is getting kind of, it's getting kind of old. In my opinion, like, you're too old to be having a tan. But it's interesting of what's happening here. A feud between the top two, Battle of the Titans. Look, if you would like to read my Substack page, I've already written a piece on this whole back and forth thing happening. So be sure to subscribe to that. And as always, my friends, thank you so much for staying with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Be sure to tune in with us weeknights, again, available on all digital streaming platforms as well as on the radio airways. Peace and blessings, y'all. Y'all take care. Talk to y'all soon. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.